Let's go on a safari at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Hey everyone, it's Herb from World of Walt, and welcome to another live broadcast from the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. A beautiful, sunny Saturday morning here, 82 degrees on the way up to 91. I have a Lightning Lane multi-pass reservation for Kilimanjaro Safaris back in the Africa section. So we are going to wander back there and check out what's up with the animals. Belkis, good morning to you, and Debbie, hello to you as well. Mitchell, nice to see you. Rope dropping World of Walt. That's the way to start a Saturday. Judy, Tanya, good morning. Thank you for being here. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. Susan in South Florida, good to see you as always. Thank you for joining. Always fun to chat with you. Peggy, hello to you as well. So a little bit of Disney news this week. Disney has released some additional information regarding the new tower at the Polynesian Village Resorts. Looks like there's going to be a new restaurant, which is exciting. Always good to see them adding some extra restaurant capacity when they're adding DVC capacity. So will be fun to see that new location open up. It's certain to have amazing views across the Seven Seas Lagoon and the Magic Kingdom. Eileen says, love strolling around Animal Kingdom. There is so much to see. This is true. There is a lot in this park, and it's a place you really do need to take some time and explore. So many little paths and spots where you can just stop for a few minutes and enjoy what's going on with the animals. Liz, good morning to you. Speaking of which, let's take a little quick detour to the Otter grotto. See if we can catch the otters having some fun. See, oh, the otters are taking a little nap. You can see them. Let's see if we can zoom in on them. It's like an otter pile right there. They're just kind of hanging out in the sun, resting up a little bit. Lucia, good morning to you. Hi, Paula, welcome. Peggy, the Chicago Triathlon today. Sounds exciting.
Oh, yeah, they sure are. Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
All right. And we see some information about otters at work. The Asian small-clawed otter's tiny paws play a big role. This otter's webbed feet help it to dive quickly underwater, then it uses its partially webbed hands to search for crustaceans, mollusks, and small fish hidden in the rocks and mud. Nice. Nicole's going to be here in 28 days. Nicole, that is great. I hope you have a wonderful visit. Hope we get a chance to check out the Magic Kingdom, all decked out for Halloween time. Hi, Phyllis from Long Island. Nice to see you. 81 days to go. A lot of folks are counting down until their next visit. You know, if you would like a little bit of extra fun while you count down, you can always check out magicalcountdown.com, or you can purchase a paper-based Magical Countdown calendar. Count down the number of days until your next Disney World trip, up to 365, with great sets of trivia and tips and puzzles for the kiddos. Lots of fun. Randy and Cheryl, hello to you in Southeast Pennsylvania. Thank you for spending a bit of your Saturday. Good to see you here. Emily, 55 days to go. People of their fall trips. Gina says, wishes she were here. Gina, happy to send a little bit of Disney magic to you via the magic of the internet. Looks like we have some more activity up on the top of the tree. A little creature is shy, maybe. Oh, there he is. You can see him a little bit. Is that a cotton top monkey, maybe? Susan has 86 degrees. I'll always beat us by a couple of degrees, Susan. We're 82 here. All the way up to 91, so it's going to be a warm day. Jody, 7 days to go. Going to be here next weekend. I hope you have a wonderful visit. Mary Ellen, thank you so much for sharing the broadcast. It's one of the great ways to get the word out. I really do appreciate it. Thanks everyone for also your comments, your likes. It's a great encouragement to me. I always enjoy the conversation back and forth. Jim, 32 days to go. Going to be at the boardwalk. Fun location. Lots of nice dining options there. Stephen, hello to you. Alice from Kansas, nice to see you. Happy to bring you a little bit of Disney's Animal Kingdom today. Pretty quick getting into the park today. Disney has both improved the process with the new scanning machines at security. The tap styles work pretty well most of the time, unless you have the misfortune to get stuck behind someone who's having an issue with their ticket. I was able to get right on the tram as I got out of the parking lot, so off to a smooth start today. Tracy's going to be here in January. He's never been here in the winter. So Tracy, my best advice for you is be prepared, as they said in The Lion King. So dress in layers, because in January it can be quite chilly, especially in the early mornings and the late evenings after the sun goes down. But during the day the sun will come out and it will warm up. So good to have some, like a jacket that you can easily add and subtract throughout the day. That would be my recommendation for you. Andy says, thanks for a good start to Saturday. You are welcome. Karen, thank you so much for sharing. Truly appreciate that. Christy from the UK, thank you for joining me across the pond and spending a bit of your Saturday afternoon with me. Tracy said, hoping for a quick trip in December. Good time to visit. Christmas decorations are up almost immediately after Halloween ends. All right, 45-minute standby wait for Kilimanjaro Safaris, but we are going to be going to the Lightning Lane. A journey through Africa's amazing wildlife. Always a different journey as well. Lots of fun. Keith, hello to you. Maryland. Sounds like it's going to be a warm day.
Make sure everyone stands. So all tickets are out, ready to be scanned. Make sure we're showing up no earlier than 5 minutes before.
Karen, thank you so much for putting a link to the Pin of the Month Club in the chat. And by default, for prompting, one of an unlimited number of shameless plugs for the Pin of the Month Club, you win the award My Undying Appreciation. If you or anyone you know would like to get a little bit of Disney fun delivered to your home every single month, check out pinofthemonthclub.com.
I did. I do now. I have it. I didn't know that.
I feel like I've gotten in the middle of the family. Vincent says, do I like the new Lightning Lane? Vincent, that is an excellent question. For me, personally, it's an improvement. So I like the fact that you can schedule in advance and not just the morning of. So my new Wednesday morning routine is to get online and see what options I have available for the coming Saturday. Of course, if you're staying in a Disney resort, you get to do that even sooner than just a handful of days. So I appreciate that. What I most appreciate is that you get an opportunity to now look at the options you're going to book and the times you can book them before you have to commit to paying. And to me, that is a huge improvement over the past system. Before, you kind of had to buy it and hope that you were going to find something that you liked and hope that you were going to find something at a time that worked. And for me, because I'm always here on Saturdays at 10 o'clock, that was kind of a narrow window of options. So for me, the Lightning Lane multi-pass is definitely an improvement. I will also say that, probably like most folks, I don't like to pay for things that I didn't have to pay for in the past, but I do get the idea.
We will park them for you.
So Disney is actually, in my opinion, pretty far behind the curve in charging for skip-the-line services. The Cedar Fair companies, Universal, they've been doing things like that for years, and Disney had not been. So do I love paying for something I didn't have to pay for in the past? No, I don't. But I also understand that Disney was behind the curve there. Janet said, line is moving fast. The Lightning Lane definitely was scooting right along. Martha, nice to see you. Phil's got 48 days to go. Kathleen is going on a Disney cruise in February. That is awesome. I actually going to be on a Disney cruise in just a couple weeks, and I cannot wait to go. September 7th, so next week will be a traditional broadcast. But the week after that, I'm not going to be here at 10 a.m. Eastern because I will be driving to Port Canaveral, and I will do a live broadcast from the Disney Fantasy on the afternoon of September 7th, and I cannot wait. I'll be sharing information all along the line. Beryl said she's coming in a couple weeks. She's trying to figure out Lightning Lane. Beryl, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to give you a hand. I think the key is look for the number of days in advance that you can book the Lightning Lane based on where you were staying. So if you're staying at a Disney resort, you can book sooner. And sort of carefully consider where you're going to be, what's most important to you, and how you want to allocate your budget. I think those are all things to think about. Craig, hello to you. Mitchell, it should be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Looking forward to sharing it with everyone. I actually have snagged my dining reservation for the first night of the cruise at Apollo. Food there is so amazing. Mary, hello to you. Greg, good morning to you. So once we do get on the safari vehicle, I'll be quiet so you and everyone else can hear what's going on. Hopefully we will catch some good animals. Deborah, hello to you. John says he's just fine on land, no cruises for him. I understand. It's not an adventure. It's not a trip that everybody enjoys, especially if you don't care for the water, you get seasick, no vacation. But for me, I am a huge fan. I think as good as the customer service is here in the parks, on the cruise line, they take it up even more. John said, Apollo, we're on land. You would definitely go. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Melissa, 68 days to go until Run Disney. That is awesome. Susan's asking for some baby animals. Susan, we'll see what we find. I'll definitely keep an eye out for you. Heather says, loves Paulo. I think that's what that was. Sorry, sometimes the messages fly by pretty quickly.
You guys are going to stick to the right side.
Oh, this is interesting. So both sides are open. It's not something I either remember or see very often, so very interesting. Paul says kids love this ride. Went on it 4 times. That's amazing. Tracy, 163 days to go. Topher said if you're diligent with the new Lightning Lane, you can do a lot, and he had done 13. That is great. Topher is learning the best way to take advantage of the system in the best way possible. I had a chance to hear some of his tips when he was here and was kind enough to spend a little bit of time on the broadcast. Topher, it was great to see you. Jody asks about the weather here today. Right now, it is 82 on the way up to 91, but we had a low of 71 overnight. 71, that's like wintertime, downright chilly here in Central Florida. So it's actually kind of nice at the, but it's definitely summer. It's definitely hot, but it feels to me like we are turning the corner from the hottest, most intense part of the summer, which is nice, coming into the slightly cooler season. Not cold, but cool, and that's a great thing. Michael, hello to you. Robert said, it is the backside of nature. It is indeed. Check it out. It's very green. Looks all like the front side. Mary's going to be here in November. Hope you have a wonderful visit. Kim, hello to you. David's going to be in the Animal Kingdom next Friday for his anniversary. Congratulations to you. Elmer said, hurry up and wait. You know, it's kind of interesting. We did like zoom, zoom, zoom right through the line, and now we're waiting. It's very interesting that both sides of the queue are open. See, the last couple of days has been refreshing here in Florida, for sure. Last night we had quite a thunderstorm, lightning and sheets of rain, the whole deal. We got soaked. Kathy, hello to you. Welcome to the live broadcast. And Velvet, nice to see you. Good morning. Craig, 75 days before an annual trip to Disneyland. That sounds like fun. He said, t-shirt idea, weeds, the start of wilderness. That's true. I like that one. Every wilderness starts with a few little weeds. Henry, hello to you. Nice to see you. He says, hang on to your hats and glasses because this is the wildest ride in the safari. Interesting photography tips. It is not possible to stop the vehicle for photographs, so do not bother the poor cast member who is just trying to get through the run. Sue said missed it in Ocala, no rain. Yeah, we had a soaking rain. It was one of those where it's showing up as red on the radar, which you know is very heavy rain. So it was something else. Maria said, best ride at Animal Kingdom? Excuse me.
Kilimanjaro Safaris. Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados y mantengan las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo. Cuiden a sus niños. Gracias. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris.
John said he would like a VIP tour guide. Me too. That's the way. If you have the means, I highly recommend it. That's an expensive way to go, but if you want to see everything that you want to see, do anything you want to do, they will make it happen. It's pricey.
You should be in good health and free from high blood pressure, heart, back or neck problems, motion sickness, or other conditions that could be aggravated by this adventure.
Lucille's came up with a whole new word. Thankness. I guess that's a combination of Halloween and Thanksgiving. Maybe. Robert says it is time for a shameless chain plug. Robert, thank you so much. I will share with you my favorite chain plug. You get the award my appreciation. If you or anyone you know would like a little bit of Disney fun every single month, check out
Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados y mantengan las manos, brazos, pies,
Lorna, good morning
piernas
to you in
dentro
rainy
del
Seattle,
vehículo.
Washington. Thank you for spending some of your early Saturday morning. We've got a humid and sunny day here in Central Florida, 82 degrees on the way up to 91.
Before you begin your trip, you should know that the unpaved roads of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve pass through rough and rugged
All right,
terrain.
maybe there's a giraffe traffic jam out on the safari.
To ensure a safe and pleasant trip, you should be in good health.
We're going to be up to 91 today, so it's warm. But, you know, not warm like 98, so we'll take it. Stacy from New Hampshire says, looks like a beautiful day. Glad to watch you every Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Wanted to share a little bit of Disney fun with everyone. Corby, how's it going? Nice to see you. Cynthia from Boston. Fan of the safari.
Bienvenidos a Kilimanjaro Safaris. Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados y
Robert saying
mantengan
maybe we
las
should put the
manos,
pin plug on the
brazos,
t-shirt.
pies y
That's an
piernas
idea. That's
dentro
like
del vehículo.
double duty, right?
Gracias.
You get a shirt and you get a pin connection in the same one. That's synergy right there. I like the way you think.
Before you begin your trip, you should know that the unpaved roads
John is saying, asking, we have enough room for 350 people in the safari vehicle. No problem. There's extra room on top, actually. Our chariot awaits.
To ensure a safe and pleasant trip, you should be in good health and free from high blood pressure, heart, back or
Might not be my
neck
chariot, though. I'm not sure if I'm going to get on this
sickness,
one or
or other conditions that could be aggravated by this adventure. Expecting mothers should not ride. Once the boat is parked,
not. No way I'm going to squeeze in there.
Guys, if you don't think you're on the next truck, make sure you're behind that yellow line. On the vehicle, watch your arms, hands, feet, legs on the right. Those doors are sliding closed.
All right, won't be long now.
Excellent. See you in a bit. Little Jumbo, everybody, welcome aboard Kilimanjaro
Gracie says,
Safaris.
thanks for the adventure.
Crispy, I'm going to be your safari guide on photos.
Thanks to that guy for waving. I don't know if he was waving at me or you, but that was nice. Ronnie says, loves to hear the lion roar. Me too, Ronnie. That's amazing. That's only happened to me once or twice, but it was terrific when it happened. And there's Steve right past us. Beryl says I'm going to get an NC. Beryl, you're right. That's kind of nice. I will be on the left edge of the safari vehicle. Normally I end up on the right for some reason, so I get to see some things a little bit differently today.
and given all the available space. It is not necessary to form a single file line. If you are traveling
Welcome, so welcome aboard, guys. Please sign all the way across those rows for me. If your tire print doesn't fit, we'll get you on to the next truck.
All right. Let's see what animals we can catch. Jennifer says, animal things a favorite park. Emily says, left side is best. I always kind of had a feeling you might see a little more.
All right, Jumbo friends, name's Amanda here.
All right, I'm going to be quiet so that you and those around me can hear what's going on.
So you please stay seated for me at all times, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs within the vehicle as well. Now, let's also just remember that these are the homes of these animals, and we are just visiting. So, please don't call out to or make any noises at them. We'll keep our noise levels down just a little bit. We're going to be respectful of them in their space. Now, we are just going to be hanging on out here for a few moments, just waiting for the all clear to head on in from the warden. So the truck up ahead of us here is going to get it first. They'll pull it up, wait just a little bit longer for our own. So while we do, you can feel free to take a look up above your heads there. That is an animal spotting guide. Going to help you identify some of the animals we might see on out there today. Now, we might not see absolutely everything due to different sleeping and migration patterns, but we usually do have some pretty good luck. Now, our first stop out here today is going to be the Little Ituri Forest. And the animals here, they do rely heavily on their camouflage as their first form of defense. So we'll be keeping a pretty sharp eye out for them. They are shy, timid, reclusive animals, usually hide behind trees and bushes, but we will do our best regardless, of course. Just need that all clear from the warden. Once we get that, we'll get to going on our way. Starting to get that all clear, but still seeing that truck up ahead of us here, so it looks like things are a little bit slow moving out there in the reserve. So we'll slowly but surely make our way on in here. My friends, coming on through here, already seeing quite a bit of activity. Off to our right-hand side, that's going to be an okapi, the larger one in the middle there. Okapis are actually relatives of the giraffe. They have practically the same skull structures, and they also have prehensile tongues, just like those giraffes do. Just a fancy word for flexible, meaning that tongue will help them grab onto their food. As we come on up a little bit more on our left-hand side here, this is going to be a greater kudu, the later tan one here. And greater kudus, they are one of the taller antelope species out here on the reserve, standing about 55 inches tall at the shoulder. Now you'll also see some darker brown ones to our left-hand side with the horns. Those are bongos, known as the ghosts of the forest, because they're so rarely seen. Do have those horns set in that backwards direction, just going to help you get through all this thick brush unscathed. As we come on around here a bit more, of course, going to continue to get a pretty good look at all these animals around us. But out to our right-hand side, top of the hill there, you're going to see a smaller little animal up there. That's a yellow-backed diker. That does translate to diver. Very, very shy and timid animals. They'll dive behind trees and bushes just so you can't see them too well. off to our left-hand side, you're going to see a black rhino hanging on out there. Black rhino's looking up around 3,000 pounds, and they can hit top speeds of around 35 miles an hour when charging. So that's pretty intense given their size. Alright, let's come on around here a bit. Off to our left-hand side, you're going to see a couple of birds back there. Those are saddle-billed storks. Pretty large birds at that. They get up around 5 feet tall. Now we are going to exit on out of the little Littery Forest here now. We'll start to enter on into the Safi River. And the Safi River is home to lots of aquatic-based animals, of course. So we'll head on out and see what we can find. Alright, we'll come on around here, starting to see quite a few pink-backed pelicans. Going to be the larger whitish-colored birds just up ahead of us here, kind of on the shorelines and swimming on around. Pretty impressively large wingspans at about 7 to 9 feet, which, to put it into perspective for you, it is about the width of the canopy up above your heads there on the truck. Now, they do get that name of pink-backed pelican because of the pink coloration that shows up on their skin mostly during their mating season. And it usually is underneath their wings for the most part as well, so occasionally a little bit difficult to be able to see. Now it does look like we are stopped up ahead. Out on the reserve, these animals do have the right of way, so when they want to cross in front of the trucks, we slow down, stop, let them do their thing. That's why we get a little bit backed up like this occasionally when events like that happen, so I do appreciate your patience with that. Hopefully we'll be able to push on up here at least a little bit, see what's happening. Alright, gonna start to see some hippo activity to our left-hand side here as well. Now, a whole group of hippos like this is actually called a bloat. And nighttime in that bloat will typically come on out of that water. They'll walk for miles just to find their next food source. Now, when traveling out through that water, though, hippos actually don't swim. They choose to walk along the bottom surface of the river, just kind of propelling themselves forward. So when they're down there pretty deep as well as for a fair bit of time. Given the fact that hippos can hold their breath for about 8 minutes straight. It does seem like we are still going to be hanging out here for a bit though, so if we got to sit somewhere, certainly not a bad place to sit. Do appreciate your patience in the meantime. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, certainly let me know.
I just have to say that I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Just so you know.
friends. Really do appreciate your patience. Looks like we will finally start to get some movement here in just a moment. Now we'll come on around here. We're going to head across this bridge in just a moment. And whilst we're on it, we're going to start to be able to check out some Nile crocodiles. Their jaws are actually so strong that it will crush the bones of their prey. They're about 16 to 20 feet in length, so it is about as long as a giraffe is tall. Just make sure everybody is fully seated, forming at all times, especially on a bridge above live Nile crocodiles. Just a few moments here, we're going to head on out towards the Savannah. And the Savannah is home to some of Africa's most popular species, like giraffes, elephants, cheetahs, lions. So hopefully we'll get lucky enough to find some of those favorites on out there today, and maybe even come across some new favorites along the way. Now we are just going to once again kind of be hanging out here for a few moments. Things are going to continue to be a little bit slow moving here, so I do appreciate your patience once again. We'll come on around here. While we're waiting for our turn to be able to head on down, we'll take a quick peek at this weird looking tree on our right. This is a baobab tree. It'll store gallons and gallons of water within those big trunks, but in order to conserve that water, they will actually remain leafless for around 9 months out of the year. Animals can then poke holes into the side, out comes the water, and suddenly they're a really great resource for those animals, especially during those months of drought. Now we're just kind of waiting for our friends in the next truck to get all the way down that hillside there, and then once they do that, we'll make our way on through too. We're already starting to see some activity on out there, so that's great news for us. We'll go check it all out here in just a second. Coming on down here, starting to see some zebra activity, some giraffe activity. Anything you might find in the distance, certainly don't struggle to see, because we're going to make our way around. We'll get much closer to everything here eventually, so not to worry. Pretty good look at that zebra, though. The zebras out here on the reserve are specifically Hartman's mountain zebras. So they're going to have a little bit of a smaller hoof than most other zebras do. That's because they are native to those mountainous regions within Africa. That smaller hoof is going to allow them to traverse those rocky terrains much easier. As we come on up here a bit more, of course, going to start to see those giraffes a little bit better. Like I said, I think once we swing on around to the other side, we might get even closer to them. But a whole group of giraffes is actually called a tower. Pretty fitting. A tower over absolutely everything, and about 18 to 20 feet tall in their adulthood. They're born at about 6 feet tall, though, so that's pretty large right off the bat. And they can hit top speeds of around 30-35 miles an hour, but out here on the reserve, if you do get lucky enough to see them running on around and playing, it's typically going to be more of a cruising speed of about 10. Usually that top of 35, that's going to be reserved for any instances that they feel like they need to make a quick exit from, which out here on the reserve, usually much more around that 10 marker. On our left-hand side, directly next to us, those are African painted dogs, and they're known as the painted dogs because of those spectacular coats they've got. Each one of those coats is actually individual to each of them, just like our fingerprints are individual to each of us. They do have very high success rates in hunting at about 90%. We'll get a pretty cool look at some of these giraffes on either side of us. So regardless of the side of the truck that you're on, we'll get a pretty cool giraffe view. Now, also continuing on our left-hand side, you're going to see some sable antelopes. They're actually the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. That's because of their strength. In fight-or-flight situations, those guys most typically choose to fight. They are fairly territorial animals, usually off doing their own thing, kind of like they are at the moment. Passing on by these termite mounds as well on either side of us, they'll get to be as hard as concrete. Some of the larger animals out here like to use them as scratching posts. Once they're scratched on down a little bit, antelopes like to hop on up there, they'll use them as vantage points. We'll come on up here, see those couple of giraffes we saw when we first came on down, just a little bit closer to us. Now, giraffes, they will actually spend about 20 hours out of their day eating. Certainly doesn't leave too much time for sleeping, so they will only sleep for about 30 minutes each and every day, and that's usually in about 5-minute power nap periods. But they do have those prehensile tongues that help them to grab onto that food, but the coloration of that tongue is a deep purple shade. That's because that tongue is out of their mouth so much, helps it to not get suffer. Now we're also going to end up seeing some springbok on either side of us. Springbok most certainly do live up to their names. They'll jump about 6 feet straight up into the air, or 13 feet forward. Also hit top speeds of around 50 to 60 miles an hour, so pretty good little animals. And continue to see some of those zebras, including baby zebra here just to our right-hand side. Coming on around here, you're going to start to see some wildebeest off to our right-hand side there. There are those gray animals laying on down. Wildebeest, their name literally does translate to the words wild beast, but they are also known as the GNU, G-N-U, after the noise that they make. I'll probably get a little bit of a different angle on those wildebeest just to our right-hand side here, so just a little bit closer to them. Now, around 1.5 million of those wildebeest will migrate together, 500 to 1,000 miles each and every year. So very, very migratory animals, very much so herd-based mentality of when one goes, they all want to go. Elephant just to our right-hand side here. Gonna see our friend flapping his ears like that. Actually, just helping to cool themselves on down. By doing that, they expose the blood vessels that are on the back side of the ear, and that can cool them down by as much as about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Also acts as a natural fan against their bodies. It's almost like their personal AC system. Now, elephants, they are a very, very social species, but they are matriarchal societies. So females are going to stick together their entire lives along with their young. Males, once they reach their teenage years, will tend to break on off with the rest of the herd. And they will live either by themselves or within loose all-male groups. Now, I'm hoping that as we continue on through the reserve and head a little bit deeper on into elephant territory, we might have the opportunity to find even more of them. We'll certainly be on the lookout as we go. as we come on through here, if you check out this red clay on either side of us, you're going to see some footprints and some tusk markings. Elephants, they will actually eat this clay, helps them get some minerals that they wouldn't otherwise get in their diets. And then out to our left-hand side, you're going to start to see even more of those elephants, which is fantastic news for us because they are very, very migratory animals. They really do not like to stick in one place for too long. So just because you find signs of them in one spot, it doesn't mean that you'll even find them relatively close to that spot. But luckily enough for us, they haven't moved too far just yet. So we can take a look up and over the bushes here. Now you'll notice how their backs are a little bit dirty, a little bit muddy. Elephants, they do like to fling dirt and mud up onto their backs, acts as a natural sunblock for them. They're known to have some very sensitive skin, so certainly want to protect it. Coming on around here just a bit, you'll get one last little angle on our friend over there. And then we're going to be heading on down towards the watering hole, which is a very important resource for all animals, of course. Just allows them to cool on down, grab a drink. Sometimes it's used as a social gathering spot as well. So we'll see if anybody's around once we get down there. Looks like some flamingos up ahead of us here, so we'll swing on around just a bit. Now these are specifically greater flamingos, so they are both the largest and the lightest pink of all flamingo species, but they will actually hatch gray. Now over their lifetimes, you're going to eat lots and lots of brine shrimp. That's high in something called beta-carotene. That's what's going to end up turning them that pink coloration that we all know and love. Will take a couple of years in order to do that, though, so certainly not something that's going to happen overnight for them, but much more of a gradual process instead. Coming on up and around here off to our left-hand side, you are going to see a white rhino laying on down over there. Now, white rhinos will get up around 5,000 pounds, and they do get their name from the Afrikaans word vite. Actually means wide, reference their mouths. They do have very square jaws. It is perfect for grazing, though. Allows them to get those mouths completely flush to the ground, pick up all that hay and whatnot. Absolutely no problem at all. Now, we'll get a little bit closer to our friend here in just a second. We'll certainly be on the lookout for some more white rhinos because white rhinos are pretty social as far as the rhino species goes, usually hanging on out in familial units. And looks like the rest of that unit is going to be up at the top of the hillside here to our right. You can see some more of them kind of tucked into the tree line on up there. So where you find some, certainly always looking for some more. Also, as we come on around this curve, we'll keep looking to our left-hand side because you're going to see some cheetah activity on the hillside there. Cheetahs, they will go 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, but can only hold that speed for a few hundred yards. They do have those big, heavy tails. They act sort of like a boat runner would, so it's going to help them to change direction, keep their balance, all on running those high rates of speed. A little bit of a peek in on those white rhinos up to our right-hand side there as well through the trees. Now it looks like even more cheetah activity on this second hillside here, kind of in this far corner up ahead of us. You can see them kind of laying on down there by that taller brush. Now we're going to make our way on up here towards some Kobe rocks. And copy rocks are typically used by predators. They go all the way to the top, just allows them to survey the savannah a little bit easier, see where their next prey might be hanging out at. We'll go around the entirety of these copies though, see if anything's happening. And here we go, lion activity just off to our left-hand side. Now lions, they do like to rest and conserve their energy for about 16 to 20 hours out of their day. And then at nighttime, they'll have tons and tons of energy. It's going to be the females that go out to do all of the hunting for the entire pride. Males will stay on back. They'll protect their territory and their cubs. But they are nocturnal animals, so during the daytime, they'll wake up occasionally just to kind of check out their surroundings, make sure nothing's happening around them that they don't want to be. But otherwise, as you can see, mostly just going to be snoozing time. We'll come on up here and check out her face a little bit better. And see her hanging out there.
That's actually right.
Alright, warthogs just out to our left-hand side. Warthogs, they will burrow themselves in using their snout, tusks, and feet, then back themselves on into those burrows, tusks facing out, which just helps to deter any predators that might be around them. Making our way on up here towards the warden's post, which does mean that we are nearing the edge of the reserve. But before we head on out, we'll swing on around here, go check out some Nigerian dwarf goats. Now these are domesticated animals, and they're domesticated primarily as dairy goats, so they're good both nutritionally and economically for the community. But they are just one good example of how humans and animals can live together, help each other out, just as long as it's done right, of course. But we are going to be heading on out of here now, friends. Unfortunately, our attack's going to be starting to come to a close. But I think it's important to remember all of the animals that we saw out there. Now, regardless of where you're from, it can all have an impact on the conservation of these animals. It's the simple things like producing, reusing, and recycling that will end up making all of the difference in the long run. Now, if you guys do want to go see some more African animals out there today, certainly do suggest to go check out Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. It's a self-guided walking trail, so no wait time, anything like that. Just walk on down, see what you want to see. Lots of cool animals though, like gorillas, of course, zebras, okapis, naked mole rats, meerkats, just to name a few. There's also an underwater hippo viewing area over there and an aviary, so certainly some cool animals to go be seen. Now we are making our way on up towards our unload area, so just make sure to check it one last time around your rows for me. You certainly would not want to leave anything behind, and we'll do our best to get you guys up, out of here, and on to your next adventure in no time, of course. Alright, my friends, now out here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye, that's far too sad and final. Instead, we say a phrase that is Kwa Harini. Does mean to go well, my friends. So I hope you go well, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Alright, watch your hands, arms, feet, legs. Doors going to be sliding open. Watch your step as you exit. Go well, go wild. Have a fun rest of your day, guys.
fun safari. Seemed like we got the extra extended version as well. Had a chance to see some zebra, giraffes, elephants, hippos, including the yawning, hungry hippo. That was a lot of fun. Jumbo to you, John. Jumbo, everyone, and Kwaharini. Karen says, loved it so much. That was a lot of fun. Susan, you are very welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Elmer said, an awesome safari. Thank you so much, Robert. Appreciate your being here. We'll keep the broadcast going for a couple minutes as we walk out. Phil said, great safari. Thank you so much. Judy, thank you for joining. Becky says, thanks for taking her on her favorite Disney ride. It's different every time. A lot of fun. Mary, thank you for joining. And Julie, thank you as well. Carrie said, love seeing the hippos. That was a highlight for me. Yeah, it's not often you get to see them. Sometimes they're hanging out at the bottom of the water. But we saw a bloat of hippos, including a yawner. Everyone got the reference to all I want for, or I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Excuse me. One of my most fun Christmas songs. Only a hippopotamus will do. I won't sing it to you right now, but you get the song. I think I discovered that song at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's a great song. A lot of fun. Carol, thank you so much for being here. Ronnie said a great Saturday morning. John also said hippos were a highlight. Glad that you enjoyed them also. Megan, hello to you. Thanks for being here on the live broadcast. Just had a chance to check out the Kilimanjaro Safaris at Disney's Animal Kingdom on this very nice Saturday. 82 degrees, still pretty pleasant even though it's on the way up to a toasty 91. Gordon and Cindy say, I love Animal Kingdom. Ron says, thanks for the amazing Saturdays. Ron, thank you so much. I appreciate your being here. Looks like we're going to see a little show. I'm going to march forward. Harambe Market looks like it's starting to serve up some lunchtime goodies. Larry said, thanks for the tour. You are very welcome, Pam. Thank you for joining also. Jody, you're welcome. Appreciate your being here. That classic Christmas song, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't know where I would put it, but it would be fun to have one. All right, everyone, I think that is going to wrap up this broadcast for Saturday from Disney's Animal Kingdom. A lot of fun to check out Kilimanjaro Safaris. I feel like we got the extended protracted version. Got to see a lot of animals. Very fun. All right, everyone, I hope that you have a wonderful Saturday and a great upcoming week. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with me. Thank you for the likes and the shares. All the comments, always fun to speak with you. Until next time, God bless.